Australians of all backgrounds see property as a path to wealth. But at some point, the banks and brokers will say that you've reached your borrowing capacity, come back in a few years. For those that want to scale faster, that's a brick wall. And there is a potential solution. Hi there, I'm back this week to look at how to structure your property portfolio to scale. Now, let's put in a disclaimer up front. This is not financial advice. If you have chosen your asset class, that is property, and you want to scale, this is an approach that I am very frequently asked about. I'm not commenting on whether multiple home ownership is a good or bad thing. That's not what I'm looking at here. I do believe that there should be some tweaks to negative gearing. I've talked about that in another episode. But today we are simply looking at structuring. We're not considering land tax or capital gains tax or any other implications. It is also worth keeping in mind that the setup costs and the ongoing compliance costs are more significant than if you invest in your own name. Australians of all backgrounds see property as a path to wealth. Many start with their own home and then look to add one or two investment properties. But at some point, the banks and brokers will say that you've reached your borrowing capacity, come back in a few years. For those that want to scale faster, that's a brick wall. And there is a potential solution. We can look at separate entities. Some investors will look at buying properties through companies or trusts. Why? Because the bank's credit team assesses this differently. Firstly, for that first property within an entity, they will look at the cash flow of that property inside the entity. They factor in the income, expenses, and debt of that property. They will also consider your personal position, your salary or business income, your outside loans and repayments. The decision will be, does the entity itself and you personally have enough capacity to borrow? For the second property in a new entity, the bank will look at that new entity in isolation, plus your personal position. Now, this is only the case if the first property is positively geared and that entity can stand alone. The same principle will then apply for the third and fourth properties, as long as the previous entities are self-sustaining. The key point here is each entity, each property must be cash flow positive. And it allows you to move on to the next property without your past investments weighing down your capacity. The benefit is that you can buy more properties more quickly before maxing out your borrowing. It's worth noting that you will still cap out eventually. Importantly, the costs are higher, the establishment fees, the ongoing compliance fees. The complexity increases. It is not a set and forget strategy. It is most certainly not for every investor. You would only consider this if you are looking to scale your property portfolio. It is very important to work very closely with a strong mortgage broker who has a really good working understanding of this. Pair that with a good accountant or advisor to weigh up the costs and tax implications. It is only worth considering if your goals and strategy are crystal clear. Again, this is not financial advice. I have not considered land tax, capital gains tax, or the wider economic debate. Important to remember, setup compliance costs are not immaterial. This strategy is definitely not for everyone. Only those who are committed to scaling at pace with professional guidance. I'm TC, and that's my 2 cents. Now, before you jump, if you found this useful, like or subscribe and share with anyone who might be interested. The content is for information purposes only. Get your own specific tailored advice. This is not financial advice. I am a poor, simple bean counter and not a substitute for good quality financial advice. If you've got a question or a topic that you'd like me to cover, set it out below or send me an email at tc@tcs2cents.com.au. If you're looking for tailored guidance to boost your business or tax advice or tax results, visit atomicba.au or email us at admin@atomicba.au and see if our team can help you go to the next level.